Yes.
Oh shit! Right, Becca just heard you say we're streaming, and she just jumped in a box. That's your game box.
Oh, what's up with this now? Hmm. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yes, that means connect to them, you stupid machine. Sorry, my headphones suddenly decided, no, we don't want to connect to things. We want to be free and do our own thing. And right. Oh, what's going on here? Right. Can you hear me again now? Okay, thanks. Well, I thought I'd start, half an hour late. So I'm going to say, right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our next session of D&D. Okay. And well, adverts. Well, at the end of the last session, you were just at the end of the trial, and you had one last long rest before you headed back to the camp of the Centaurans. Well, that and you don't. Well, do any of you have fishing equipment? Yes, that is much more difficult to do in real life. That's a good point. Which is quite ironic given the game that I just started playing this week. Well, Farming Simulator has got an update where you literally are fishing in Scotland. Yeah, you suddenly move to a small community in Scotland with a little tiny pre-generated town. Um, what I've realised is I cannot ride a push bike in that game to save my life because it goes at like 20 miles an hour, and even on 50%, even with the sensitivity dropped down to 50%, the slightest flick of your controller, and you're off into the weeds, like instantly. I was having trouble just like cycling straight. Yeah, it took me 2 hours to get my bicycle home. Mm. And also the chances of you catching something which then has something unpleasant in its guts. And gutting a fish is a lot more difficult if you don't know what you're doing, because it's much smaller and it's got a lot more shit and stuff in its guts. Well, I don't know so much about the Big Bang Theory in that regard, but I know that from real life, um, from going on fishing trips with my father, and the fact that you would have to like gut a fish within a certain number of hours, otherwise it would spoil. And also, we apply some of those useful lessons I learned in my trip to Scotland about, not spoiling venison meat, which I applied to the bison that you caught. Taught me a lot, and also got me to buy shelter. Well, as well as, yeah. Mm. If I had the money, I'd move back. I, well, yeah, as I said, I know it's more of a northern thing in general, but chips and gravy. We don't do gravy like that down south. You the closest you get to it is just chips and bovril. Well, no, chips and bisto. It's not the same. It needs to be. It needs to have the consistency of custard or some other sort of more viscous liquid. Yeah, it's a sort of. Well, yeah, it's not okay to use an Alan Partridge thing. It has to transition from being a hot sauce into more of a, um, as I said, more of a custard. As I said, more, yeah, like when he's categorizing categorizing whether Bovril is what Bovril is. It's like, it's not a beverage, it's a hot sauce. Well, I've always had a weakness for roasties. My dad cannot cook them because of the limitations of a Rayburn. Phil knows that one well because I go crazy for hers as well. This is why you should be glad Trigger isn't here. You know he'd be like, oh, I bet you do. And I also picked up this week on Temu. It is clearly a bootleg version of a Yeti mug called a Beast mug. First time I've used Temu. It's junk. No. But, okay, so, as I said, back to this last night. So, was there anything you wanted to do for your last night before you start heading back to camp? Well, you'd have to head back to camp the next evening, but you're fine until then. The succulent meal, succulent bison meal. Get your hands off of my horns. That's my horn from my bison. Well, if any of you've got any whittling skills, you could always whittle the horns into something ornate and give them as another tribal gift. As I said, you've got a whole day's worth of time before you can head back. Ollie, you're far away from your microphone again. Your microphone has escaped you like a Pokemon. Yes. Name three. What was that? Oh, the hallucination pineapples. Okay. Oh my goodness! Don't go there. Don't. You know for a fact we'll end up this week talking about the lore of this other place of pineapple people, and then you'll end up telling Nilla about it, and it'll just go from there. It'll be another campaign. It'll be a one shot of the phantom pineapple people. No, clearly clearly it's the Communist Potato Party. The Potato Workers Party. No, we don't like to mention that. It's because they hate it's because they turn on all the blackberries. Why does this sound like the sort of thing Hawk would come out with while he's riding bitch and having a drug problem? it's because Jack, innocently enough, you don't know about my problem, my 4-year-old wrestling and drug career back in the 1980s, where I would frequently where I would oddly enough you I'm surprised you haven't heard about my tag team partner. I think his name was Vader, wasn't it? I was very high. I was Animal, yeah, sorry. Yeah, Animal and Hawk. No, it's a bird. I mean, why didn't we just call ourselves Bird and Animal? I mean, heck, you could have called us Bird and Camel and no one would have argued with you. Oh, yes! Hawk with the home run of references. Reptile. Uh, Hold on, I heard that voice. Is that Nicole? Hey, Nicole! That's alright. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, we could do. Yeah, do some Stardew tomorrow. I'll be busy tomorrow, so yeah, you two can. Mm, yeah. Mm, yeah, you end up with that state of tired where you're like actually too tired to sleep. It's horrifying. Yes, quite literally. Or find some other way to escape. Hook, find me a way out of here. When's the bus times? There's got to be a way. You found a way up from England. There's got to be a way out of here. I'm not sure if that makes me the thief then, because that would make you the Joker. Another reference. But yes. So yeah, you're going to whittle the bison, and then anything else the other two want to do? Yeah, they'll have horns. They'll have a full skull and stuff. Mm, mm. Oh yeah, that'd do it. Yeah. Is there an item horn of warning? No, I'm just gonna have a look and see if there is an item called like a horn of warning or something like that. So if someone, if whoever's on watch has that horn, you can blow it and wake the party. So much easier. So I'm just going to have a quick. I'm just loading a character to see if that is an item. No, that's actually a very useful thing to have as a party. Um, no, that was a conch. Shh, shh. That's Ollie immediately finds his purpose. What? No, it's not a horn for playing a tune. Horn of hearing suppresses hearing. Horn of silent alarm. Yeah, I was going to say, how the hell does that work? Horn of silent alarm. Yeah, apparently you can get a horn that's literally just a horn that only certain people can hear. Yeah, only one person can hear it. The one person that is being annoying, you can just be like, yeah, I'll ruin your cinema experience. And then one person can hear it. It's like, haha. Yeah, there was. Yeah, there was definitely a. Okay, I'll find that while as we go because it's acting up a little bit. Oh, this is close enough. Boarhorn, warhorn. I'll add that. Oh no, that can't be it because that's a club. That's not actually a warhorn. For some reason, they've called it a warhorn when it's clearly not a warhorn. It's a club. There we go. Yeah, I found one. Warhorn. Oh, swords. Oh, hello, Giffen the Wood Elf. Welcome to our team. Well, welcome to our little show. Um, okay, so was there anything last minute you wanted to do? I've added the Warhorn item to. It's Warhorn over 2 spaces. Interesting. I'll have to add that to the pilot. Okay, so let's get you over to the next map as you arrive back at camp. It's Warhorn, but it's 2 separate words. And you've only got one bison, I accidentally gave you 2. So, yeah, it's just standard Warhorn. Party ribbon here. So, it is night by the time you arrive back at the Centaurans camp. Look at the map. Yes, your wives are on your way over, and the usual scout who's on guard. Oh, I forgot to bring you wolves. Oh, they must be already be in the camp. Sorry, I forgot to move them. I've forgotten whose wolf is whose. I know Skibbity's is yours, Riz. Yep, I got them muddled up again. There we go. It's because for some reason I keep thinking. For some reason I keep thinking that it's going to be Braveheart who has Jacob. For some reason, because I think it's a Twilight reference. We got all the references. Yes. Well, what's. Yeah, but I'm not dating him. He's a politician and she's a pig farmer. They can't be together. Oh, stop trying to give away the new character I'm planning on adding. So don't tell him. Okay, okay, Ollie. Okay, Ollie. No telling Dan about Murkyhausen. Yes. Do not tell Dan about Murkyhausen until we're ready. You know what will happen? You will be cursed. And I can do it. I'm the only one of this group who has Danhausen merch. Yes, you should. For human monies. Yeah, but it's for Danhausen. Gotta support Danhausen. Yes. So you arrive back at the Centauran camp. The initial guard comes up to you. It's like, "Oh, you're back. How was the uh, how was the ritual?" This, the large, muscular Centauran walks around you, his feet clopping into the grass as he heads there. He looks closely at the bison. Oh, excellent quality. Meat smells delicious. Mm. You, did you kill it quickly? Oh my goodness! So the meat is going to be exceptional. I'm sure the Khan even will. I'm sure even the Warhorn will want some. What is this? He looks confused and goes, "That's an interesting idea." Mm-hmm. He immediately jumps, startled by the sound. Hmm, interesting. I'm sure, as I said, you should take that to Krakow. I'm sure he would deeply approve of this. One of our members? Well, you should speak to him. He's the only one who could authorize someone to go out to you. Um, your your um your wives are here as well. They've been waiting for you. They have been untouched. Both of them look at the they move closer and both of them look at it. Do you need help with this? Okay. They step to one side to let you through and mm, um, both of your wives blush slightly. The other two look over at Riz. I'm not sure which one would work better at this point. The Sonic 2 drowning sound or the cartoon I'm waiting. I'm thinking the drowning sound at this point. No, I meant waiting for Ollie's line. You haven't seen your wives in a week and your mind's gone blank. Oh. Do 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 do. Okay, wait. Well, yeah, you could try it. Mm. Yeah, they it's failed. Close enough. He's gonna get put. He's gonna get put out like a bad cat. Right. Okay. Moving on swiftly. Well, you should present your gifts to Kragor and announce your return. I'll take your beasts and feed and water them as he collects up your wolves and leads them over to the pen. Yeah, it's right in the center. He stands guard on the Warhorn's tent, which is the largest tent at the back of the village. Okay, so that is actually quite a distance to walk. So, what are the others going to do as you're doing that? Yes, acknowledge him as the new Decepticon leader. Sorry, couldn't help. Uh, well, Kinryu's wives are following him, and Braveheart is following along as well. So it just leaves Charlton Riz standing by himself. Well, no, his wives are just kind of standing there, like, hey, sorry, couldn't chat after raid because we're still chatting with my players post session. I hope all is going well. Yeah, everything's going pretty well. Yeah, we always do that ourselves. You always have a bit of a post game chat. Yeah, post game evaluation to use a football metaphor, well, football analogy. No, 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 no. It's usually at one of our former players' expense when we be, you know, telling people all about one of our thinking, so glad Olby isn't here anymore, driving us crazy. You know, probably chuck the bison in the fire and I don't know, something ridiculous. Well, as I said, probably throw the bison on the fire, piss on Cragor's tent, and decide he wants his armor because why not? Despite the fact he won't fit him. Yes, but okay. So Charleston, what are you going to do? Okay, let's hear it. Hmm. Well, the two look at Brandy and Sherry look at each other and go, hmm. They whisper to each other and go, hmm? Yeah, okay. Hmm. Then you'll have to you'll have to well we kind of want more now that we've seen that that's an option. So what we would need is there's a way of getting a quickie divorce. Basically, you just have to lose us to your friend Kinryu. No, they've just. I was going to say they've literally just told him a way out. You're not in the village. He's done like me, and he's subscribed because then you have infinite character slots. It is a good thing to do when you're the DM because it's like a pittance. It's like 4 quid. Mm, mm, yeah, and you get other things as well on the subscription as part of it if you're using their maps or other things. Mm. we've already spoken to his bride, so yeah, we kind of thought you felt like this. So yeah, they were gonna kind of give him the nod to uh, to do that tonight after everyone's had a few drinks. Because that's usually when these things are done in the brothers' camps. So yeah, we're fine with that. Everything will be all above board. No dishonor. See, you should be glad of one thing. There's no child support in this world. Because there's a very. I mean, it's you wouldn't be able to tell, but it's very clear they are probably in the early stages of you know, they did impregnate themselves with your seed on your first encounter. Yeah, the one you almost died from. It's they just look at you and go, it's okay, just stop, just stop, and they start walking away, like they. Okay, okay. So you're gonna head into the camp now? No, I meant Riz. He's the only one who hasn't moved. Right. Okay. So Kinry arrives with his kill. Um. Yeah. Cragor can see you as you approach and goes, "Remind me!" and yells out, "They have returned! Look, the new bloods. They're here." Well done. I thought I not move him into his tent. Oh, I put them on the wrong map. I changed. Oops. That was. Sorry. Dump. I changed. Well, I didn't change the token for Kragor. I added the token for his boss. There we go. Ah, you've returned. Excellent. Kragor's voice is as booming as you remember. From behind him, an even larger, um, Centauran moves out. Um, he wasn't wearing armor, but he has a charisma and a powerful look about him as lightning seems to sparkle in his eyes and round his hands. Craggle looks back and looks at you guys. Yes, we are truly blessed today. The day you return, our Warhorn is here to grant you full access to our tribe, well, to our clan. It's been a while since Gorgar the Stormbreaker has been here. Oh, Craggle moves closer, and he does pretty much exactly the same as the other warrior. He sniffs the meat, and then announces, "Exceptional! You've killed this as well as one of our greatest warriors. Almost no way that the meat is perfect." Yes, I'm sure it would. My lord, come over and see what these new young bloods have brought to the camp. Gorgar the Stormbreaker heads past the fire over to you, and he looks down at you and goes, "Craggle, these are outsiders. You refer to them as young bloods? Please explain." "Well, my lord, they have undertaken the trials." "They have indeed. Hmm. And they seem to have females of their own." "Yes, that was in part my suggestion. They had taken some of our females into their protective custody, and like that." Gorkar laughs. Um, ah, and he comes over to Kinryu and goes, "So you've been playing with our women, have you, young dragonborn?" He's he is a huge centauran. He is Kragor is a large guy, but this guy is far bigger. Um, and he looks down at you like when you speak, and just sort of chuckles slightly like, "Don't I've seen many things. Don't worry about it. I just realised I used the wrong icon. That Kragor doesn't even have 4 arms. Hold on, let's sort that out." That's the problem with having 2 icons for the same guy, one with the right number of arms and the other doesn't. But I shall fix that for good. There we go. As it touches your shoulder, you feel a surge of energy, like he's like a wizard or something, like lightning coursing through your shoulders. Well, did your other companions manage to make it through the trials? None of you, none of you had help from outside. None of you accepted help from outsiders. Yes, that's excellent, excellent, excellent. You really are the sort of people we need in our tribe. You understood the rules without being taught, like our young often are, on how to make their way through the three trials. You found food. You found a way of keeping the food from hurting you. You helped people, from what I've heard from the reports from the scouts who were observing you. And you resisted the temptation of the tricksters who were um, sent to deceive you. So yes, all three of our trials are complete. So yes, you are welcome. Mm, excellent. As I said, you have truly proven yourselves worthy, and for that we can begin the ceremony. Gregor, lead them up. Craggle points to you and goes, "Okay, when your name's called, um, just go up and announce who you are to the tribe." And yeah, it's a very simple ceremony, but that will grant you full rights as a member of this clan. Of Is there anything you need to know? Yes, you do not have titles yet. Once you've conducted deeds, then you will. I will get the bison prepared. He hands the beast over to some of the females who take it away for preparation. That will be our celebration meal. So it will take several hours to cook, but that's all right. Okay, so Brandy and Sherry come up and whisper to Ryoko and Bernadette. It's on. Ryoko moves over to Kinryu. Before the ceremony, we need to talk. Yes. Yes. We'll only be. We just need you to do one thing. This is for Brandy and Sherry. You need to strike Charleston. Challenge him to a duel. In doing so, if he loses, he'll disgrace himself and he'll lose his females to you. as he clearly doesn't want them. And they're quite annoyed. They're not that far away, so yeah, you're within 10 feet, so you probably could hear it. No, I'd say you'd heard it. No, you need to do it after you've had a couple of drinks. That sort of thing happens a lot. Yes, he's been told. Well, they say they've told him. Okay. Gregor is sort of Gorgar is sort of doing the rounds and doing a little getting everyone hyped up. Yes. Okay, now the young bloods need to step forward up to the fire. Who will be the first of your number to join us? Okay. Kinryu, the Gold Dragonborn. You have proven yourself to be a capable warrior, seasoned scout, and you have survived the trials. I grant you full access, even though you're an outsider, to this clan. May you bring honor and glory to us. And he hands you this massive. You can tell it's ceremonial for them, but it is like a dragon horn. It is huge. Like, it would be big for them, given that they have 4 arms to hold. Um, but as he hands it to you, he then stops and goes, "Actually, Gregor, give him a hand with this because um, limitations of them only having 2 arms. You don't want to spill the liquor." And he comes over and gives you a bit of a hand and he whispers as he does, "Don't worry, there's no shame in it. He'd be more annoyed if you dropped it. And some of our warriors have. So he's the fact that you brought in the bison. He's in a good mood, and you know he loves bison, especially fresh. You've really got his good side. That was a good call." He gives you a wink, like. Mm. Yes, yes. It's your first one, so you're okay. The pass thing is quite low, but it is very, very strong. You're drunk enough. You drunk basically the same amount as one of his warriors would. Uh, he's impressed. It's disgusting. It's utterly disgusting. It's like it's some sort of like blood honey mead combination. It's pretty strong. It's strong, and it's kind of like how they would describe blood wine as being. It's not pleasant. And Kragor does give you a little bit of a warning with that. It's like it's only used for ceremonial purposes. We won't be drinking it all night. He's like, no, that everyone else gets a turn. You know, it's not just your show. No, you've drunk. So yeah, that's the next. Yeah, let's move you up the front. Get a little zoomed in. There we go. Charleston Riz, you have also conducting yourself as a warrior. We saw that during the trials you succumbed to one of your friend's foolish attempts at quenching your thirst, but you held your own and didn't require any aid in the end. And you learned and grew stronger. You have succeeded. Um, so, you are also granted full access to our tribe, to our clan. Now, Craggle helps move this, as I said, this gigantic dragon horn over to you. As I said, it would be it's Craggle describes it as this is something that even Centaurans have a hard time moving. Even he is struggling with it to keep it from falling over. It is far too big. Yes. And he sort of winks to you and goes, "There's no shame if you actually just pass out from it," which it looks like you're about to. Jeez, I think I jinxed that one. Well, yeah, this stuff is hard stuff. You're drinking. You've just drunk basically enough that would actually get a person the size of a horse pretty pretty pissed. Yeah, and you've just drunk it. Yeah, yeah, and yeah, especially when you consider as well that it's got the horse digestion as well as the humanoid digestion as well. Its body mass is massive, and its digestion is capable of digesting a freaking crazy amount of things. So yeah, um, yeah, you are properly gazeboed, to put it mildly. Um, oh god, not quite yet, but they will be. I'll give it half hour, and yeah, you'll be pineappling, seeing the pineapples again. At which point then Gorgar goes, and last but not least, his braved heart. Actually, you are right where you need to be. You're right by Cragor. Cragor moves the. Sorry? Hmm. And you have also conducted yourself as a warrior. You may have given your friend accidentally the waters of the sea and therefore increased his thirst. But you journeyed there alone. You put yourself in significant potential harm to find him what you thought he needed. That shows true bravery, which from a youngster, not knowing the correct survival skills, but still having the bravery to actually go forth and risk your life, is a noble endeavor. So you are also welcome. But you will also never forget that lesson to never give seawater to a person suffering from thirst. So you will have learnt. And our best warriors tend to find that if they make a foolish mistake during their trials, they live to be better warriors for it. So do not see this as any kind of slight against you. I'm glad. He gestures for Cragor to pass the drink over to you. Because you're not quite at the level where you're immune to poison, are you? Because paladins don't get that until like level 8. I think, but I think you are. I think you have advantage on the save against poisons, if I remember correctly. Yeah, like the homunculus has advantage against disease, paralysis, and poison. So you'd have a similar thing if you've got it. Oh, you might not have it yet. As I said, it might be you don't get it until level 8. I know paladins do get it eventually, but as I said, it might not be. You might not have it yet because you're only level 5. But as it's a con save, your con is pretty high, so you should be all right. Yep. 22, yeah, easy, easy. As I said, I know your con is very high, so yeah, you're always in a good standing for that one. As I said, it wouldn't have happened immediately. It would have been like 20 minutes, half an hour later, because it's got to enter your system. People don't just go like, I've taken a sip of grog and die. It's not. It doesn't enter your system that quick. It's one of those things I do argue with people about. And also, radiation poisoning is not poison. No, it isn't. It's not poison. It shreds your DNA. That is not the same as you got an icky tummy. That's not the same thing. I see so many people who do the like, I'm a dwarf paladin and I use the atomic bomb hammer, and it's like, what? It's like, oh yeah, because I'm immune to poison. Radiation is not poison. It's called radiation poisoning because the action of poisoning is basically, can be used on a lot of things, but it is not poison. Otherwise, for example, if you end up in radiation, it would just be poison damage, and it's not the same thing. Poison is not the same. Radiation damage is not the same as anything else. If anything, it's closer to radiant damage because at least that's sunlight. That's like sun UV light, same wavelength as radiation. But that's a yeah. Sorry, I just went off on one because I saw a video about that today, and it just reminded me how much it annoys me. Because like paladins are immune to radiation. No, they're not. Yeah. Everyone from the crowd, having heard Braveheart drink his grog and stuff, and stand there like, yeah, what of it? Probably tidy up his whiskers afterwards, like, oh, this stuff stinks. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. But yeah, the whole group starts to cheer and dance and things and celebrate. It's like, yes, the young bloods, yeah, they did it. They passed the trials. Yeah. Good job, everyone. Craggle sort of looks at you and Craggle looks at you because it's revolting, isn't it? As I said, it's only used for ceremonies. Here, have some of this. And he passes you some honey mead. This is the good stuff. Yes, and also let Sam have his thing as well. Yeah. Although I think I think Charleston's had a bit too much already. You're right. And he looks over. Craggle gets close to you and like, you're right, Charleston. What's a pineapple? Oh, I think okay, Jumanji. I think that's up to you. Oh, oh, oh! I could actually use this clip for once. As he's smaller as well. I wish I'd set this up. Okay, I'm sorry if I end up playing it twice because I always end up. Um, uh, oh, I might not have it. I might not have it set up. Oh, that's annoying. Oh no, I got it. I got it. I got it.
What's wrong, punk?
I said I might have to play it twice.
Can't take care of your woman.
When I add things like that, I'm never quite sure if the sound is going to work or if it's just going to be like crazy loud. So I apologize for the sound the first time. Let me just. Turn the sound down a little bit. Oh, I haven't used this for ages. One of my favourite lines from X-Men. Hopefully it'll work right this time.
What's wrong, punk? Can't take care of your woman.
As I said, that really hit home with me as a kid. It was like, I'm like, what the hell is Sabretooth up to? Stealing some birthday cake. Craggle looks at you, goes, just strike him. Yes. Centauran rules. Okay, Kinryu. Well, okay, Braveheart. You've got a drunken Riz who's just been smacked hard by Kinryu, sort of wobbling backwards towards you. Well, actually, you might want to. Okay, Can you give me a wisdom save, please? Okay, you have a thought about it and consider. Okay, after what you heard earlier on, you know why this is happening. You think perhaps it's better to step aside so that the effect seems more genuine, because from your own background in society as a lion, as a leonin, um, you know how male dominant how lions operate, how lions herd females, and how a strong male will take females from a weak male. So to you, there's like a genetic thing of what's happening here. You recognize this deep in your core. So you would know, like some part of you would think, perhaps I should take a step back because this is the strong male taking the female. So, which in this situation wouldn't be against your paladin oath, because this is just a domestic squabble. So yeah, some part of you is like, you should just let him eat dirt. Okay, I just thought I would say, like, some part of you would. I'll move you to one side, so you sort of crackle laughs. yes, you both need to roll initiative because you got the surprise attack. I was gonna say, yes, he's definitely getting the reaction on that one. It says to hit. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see your claws to hit. So, yeah, I'm letting him have the nat 20. It's his only chance. Freaking hell, 20 damage. Yeah. Oh, Kinryu gets knocked back slightly into the Centauran behind him, who pushes him forward like. "Ah." Yeah, he's a bard, so he doesn't. Fuck. Yeah. You're all. Oh, he missed. Nice. Nice one. Freaking hell. He smacks you down. You end up 5 feet down, like 5 foot behind you, just down on the ground, sucking dirt. He's unconscious, so he doesn't hear your. He's unconscious. He doesn't hear your jibes. Okay. The Centaurans who are nearby Kinryu are immediately patting him on the shoulder, going, "Good on ya! Yeah, you freaking did it! Yeah." They're fucking loving it. And Gorgar the Stormbreaker is like, he's trying to make a name for himself already. Oh my goodness! Just. Oh no! I don't want it. I don't want it. No, I don't want it. I don't want it. Oh, okay. Nick. The problem is nicknames. Okay, nicknames that in tribal cultures like this normally come out because of something weird happening, something bizarre, something like this. Oh my god, this one's gonna come out. This comes from Gaga himself. Yeah, that's right. Kinryu the Pussy Beater. Oh dear. I was thinking Pussy Grabber, and then I thought, no, that's a bit too Trump. But I think actually Smasher works better. Kinryu the Pussy Smasher. Kinryu. Kinryu. You hear from the rest of the tribe chants of Kinryu and Pussy Smasher. And Crackhorn laughs. And he looks over at Braveheart and goes, I'm sure that means something else in other cultures. Yes. It's funny though. Well, I just updated your nickname on your token, so no, because everyone else is like the Stormbreaker or the Iron Hoof. Yeah, you can't see their nicknames as your players. I should make them visible to you because yeah, token names aren't visible to players. Like the ones I use on the characters like Rogar and stuff like that. You can't see the names. It's useful for me because it means that I have a reminder of their names because I forget. Yes, I have it. It's a small box with a light. Yes. Damn it, how am I supposed to stream when Ollie has given the internet to his mother? And the rest? Well, you don't think you're going to get some more action out of this? When we fade to black, I'm going to need you to roll probably a d6 to see how many extras you get. When we fade to black, these will be the ones you snuck in. Well, Ash was joking. Well, Phil was joking before, saying that this RP is turning into a harem anime. Yeah, true. I'll make sure to put this session up straight away so she can watch it. Although I have been sorting out the playlist for other episodes so she can catch up. Hmm. Well, it's considered an uneventful night if there's not at least 2 stampedes and at least 3 murders. Well, no, it's what they say in the Dothraki. It's not. It's if amongst the Dothraki, it's considered a dull event if there isn't at least three. Well, is it 2 murders or something, or 3 murders? 3 deaths. Yes, considered a dull affair. And that is what I've loosely, basically what I did to make the Centauran culture is it's a mixture of our character of Agatus and also the Dothraki. So yeah, it's a bit of both. And Gorgar laughs. You these see, Cragor, this is why everyone says that you're most likely to be my replacement when I give up, when this heavy mantle leaves me or when I become the next Khan. Because you have the know-how, you have the sense of a leader. In fact, that was one of the things I came here to do, was to formally announce that, reliant upon the vote when we go to the conference tomorrow and we hold the Great Stampede and the vote for leadership, I will probably be named the new Great Khan, and I will need you, Cragor the Iron Hoof, to take up my mantle as Warhorn of this tribe, and therefore you will need to assign yourself a new blood guard. And I think I know who you will pick, because clearly you have chosen your associates well in the past few days. Cragor looks astonished, like, what? You mean the Great Stampede is happening? My lord, I'm honoured. I would, I would, well, if I were to pick one of our tribe to be my to be um my blood guard, it would have to be the Pussy Smasher. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . It would have to be Kinryu. As even within a week he has brought so much honor and so much glory to our nation, to our tribe, that in future I see that he can't possibly do anything else but to bring more glory. Do you approve, my lord? Gorgar looks over at Kinryu. Yes, I approve most greatly. Him and his companions would be worthy members of your elite guard, especially Kinryu. So yes, I approve. We will take them with us to the council in the next day or so when we head out. Till then, everyone enjoy yourselves. Gorga, him and Cragor go into the tent as they have things to discuss, but yeah, he's giving you his bottle of honey mead because, yeah, get that foul taste out of your mouth. This is actually quite, yeah, you make it easy. So yeah. It's, oh yeah, you'd love it. Like, in real life, honey mead is lovely. Lovely substance. Yeah. No, honey mead has it is, but it has a very sweet flavour. Because it is basically just honey wine. To be honest, Jack, if you had the right company, and Ollie can back me up on this one because he's got drunk with me, and he's got drunk with other people who I know did let him down, and I think he had a much better time probably when he was with me and Seb than he did with them. I don't know how it went the last time he went to a con, and if he had a few drinks then. Oh yeah, but okay, no, I no. This is the one time I will argue with you on that one because they knew what to expect. If they were people who'd had a few drinks before, they knew what to expect. And if you're the person who knows what's going to happen when you're drinking with friends, then you are not really someone's friend if you do not look after them. They didn't look after you. I got drunk with Trigger many times, and Trigger looked after me. When when uh, when Alex got drunk many times with us, we looked after him. You look after people. You don't leave people behind. You look after them, especially if it's their first time. They left you to it, and that's very bad. That's not something you do. Oh yeah, I'm just keeping it kind of vague, like even then, I was the big guy who used to have random female friends pretending, like saying, "Can you pretend to be my boyfriend to get a creep to fuck off?" So yeah, and just helping them get home safe and things. You know, and these were people I barely knew. You know, you look after people. Yeah, because people do take advantage. Mm. 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 Yeah. It's, mm. But the thing is, they might have never been taught that. So I'm not casting any. Yeah, it might have been that they were never taught that. As I said, because you need good you need what good habits spread good habits. So if you're not taught that, they might not have been taught that. So I'm not saying it's necessarily their fault, but yeah, oh yeah, they did do it. They did step in when they knew. So yeah, it but they should have helped before then. And that is what I would do if I was with someone like you, Jack. I would make sure that you were like, yeah, yeah. I think if we actually were doing something fun, something that he could get some enjoyment out of, that he would be okay. But as a thing, if you're in a bad mood, it's a bad idea to drink. So yeah. Hmm. Well, as I said, Braveheart hasn't really done anything, and Riz is going to be unconscious for a while. So yeah, yeah, that's all right. So Braveheart, as you've got your nice bottle of honey mead. Hmm? Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know he's fine now. You know, pick him up and dust him off. Mm. See, he's been trying to do that. He's been trying to do that line ever since you got punched. Okay, yeah, okay. No, because you don't have to be chivalrous to him. You got to remember. Okay, one thing to remember is you're a lion. He's a house cat, effectively. There's going to be a certain familiarity between the two of you because it's like as I said, he's very much the Drax, and um, yeah, because it is the like he's the big warrior and powerhouse, and you're like the domesticated version of you, and it's like, why didn't you do that? Like, think of it as Mufasa suddenly talking to Garfield. That's basically what you'd be doing. It would be Mufasa talking to Garfield. Like, why do you eat so much lasagna? You're small and fat. Oh, 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 no, 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 no. I'm going to have to step in there and go, he's just insulted your brother. Yeah, he just said someone had to step to the front because your brother wouldn't. I think someone's after another dirt nap. And remember, you've had a couple of drinks now. I was going to say you wouldn't have. that, would that would have been a bad night for Charleston at that point. Although, is Charleston actually going to take that? You are kind of drunk still as well, and this inept. Because actually thinking about it as well is, to you, this is like what you were doing was keeping up your own personal code. So you did what you thought was right, and he's questioning that. Yeah, you've got to touch things with prestidigitation. You got to touch his groin. Pretty sure prestidigitation is a touch spell. Oh, does it have a range? Okay, I stand corrected. You have to turn around. You have to be facing him within the 10 feet. So you might want to do it and then walk away. Ooh. Okay, he can roll perception if he wants to. Um, No, you haven't noticed a slight wet patch on your armor. Still, one of the females is actually walking up to him. To you. Do you know what I've actually heard the. Do you want to know what the worst line I've actually heard for a reason for that is? Right. I said I've been single at this point for a couple of like 6 months, no, a year or so. And the person honestly said to me, "Do you know what that means?" And I was like, "What?" And they're like, "You should have a sex change." I was like, "What?" And they were like, "Yeah, because you haven't for a while. That means clearly you need to swap." And I was like, they were honestly treating like it was cologne, and this was like 10 years ago, 15 years ago now. So it wasn't like the modern trans sort of thing. It was just this person I think had something. They were very strange. They just thought, yeah, yeah, basically. Um, so yeah, it's only really Braveheart and Riz who. Well, actually, Kinryu, are you just going to head to a tent? Yeah, because they're all celebrating with you. Like, so yeah. Brandy and Sherry are quite happy with your performance. Um, the woman who's the female who was approaching Braveheart was actually just bringing him food. Some of the bison that's now cooked. She does point out there's a wet patch on the front of your armor as she walks away. Hmm. Or that cad spilt it on you. The drunken one over there who like. No, no, the men are just going to come up and actually, you know, these things happen. Means you need to, yeah, yeah. All they're basically telling him is, yeah, you just need to put up more of a fighting future. Yeah, they're not. As I said, they're not. They're not embarrassed. They're not saying for you to be embarrassed. They're just like, yeah, just yeah, yeah, it's all right, Brett. That's all right, Charleston. You did all right. That Dragonborn's, it's pretty mean. Well, if you're not really in that market, then you're not really in that market. Exactly. Just at which point, one of the big berserkers basically just pats you on the shoulder and says in an extremely patronising tone, "Yeah, it means there's more hoodies for us." But if you're not doing that, what is it you do like doing? You musician? Well, you should play us a tune then. I lost all my women. I got nothing left to do. Oh, okay. I was thinking more the thingy style scat. I think it is the ones that what's his name does. The ones that Steven Seagal does. Gibberish. It's just mumbling. Yeah, you do. Exactly. Nice. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I suppose that would work. Yeah, we'd like that. Okay, so as the hours pass, uh, Charleston's doing his singing while he's playing and music, and everyone's having a lot of drinks. Braveheart, what are you going to be doing for these hours? Thanks for the follow. Good. Yeah, it's a good one. Mm. Thanks, Kafan. Um, maybe see you next week. He's gonna keep doing that. Well, as I said, is that all you're going to do for the next few hours? Just get him a drink and, well, Braveheart, just get him a drink and dry your armor and. Yes, because your suit was covered in dirt. Um, but yes, aside from that, I think you were. I think that's pretty much everyone's things for the end of the night. Um, okay, well, the first bit of business they're going to do is basically Brandy and Sherry are going to come up to you with a branding iron. Yes, they got it ready for you. Mm. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, their honest reaction to that is, yeah, it sure is. And you're getting grappled. Maybe not in public, but I'm not going to make you roll on that one because that is a fade to black situation. That's all right. It's easy for that's slightly easier for me, as I then only have to make one more additional centaur and female character. Okay, so we then fade to black at the end of the night. The next morning, pretty much everyone else is gone to their tents. So let's. Yes, yes, yes. That was going to be my next comment, Jack. No, but if I did that, the campaign would never end. Yes, I would. Uh, it is. Yeah, it's because you have to have it prepared. Oh, you must not have had it prepared then. Yep. Yeah, I've got to unassign them. I might have to just remake them. Can you unassign them from yourself? On each one, it should state unassigned. Third, it's on the Wednesday night game screen. Yeah. Um. Besides, you're a melee character. Wouldn't really make much sense unless you killed the owlin that's following you around and took his. Right. The next morning, you find yourselves basically having been rousted quite heavily from your beds. You find yourselves on your wolves, led across your wolves. Um, sort of not tied on, but just sort of tied so you don't fall off. Um, Gorgar basically says, sees you're waking up and says, "Ah, yes, you haven't quite got the same stamina as my kin, but like I said, we need to get to the conference, so we've kind of improvised a way, haven't we, Cragor?" Hmm. Yeah, we did, boss. Basically, Cragor leads the way with Gorgar, and they head towards the capital of the Centaurans. So it's most of the day you're traveling, so you've slept off your groggy alcohol related things, and you arrive at their camp at the conference site. Hmm. What's going on there? The Frank. And roll 20 just died on me. Oh, yes, rejoin the game with the DM. Okay, let's move you to the right map. Yeah, I moved you all to the right map, and then it just went, no. There you go. Your wolves get penned up by Brandy and the others, as you can't be riding wild animals around the camp. Exactly. And you arrive at a much more ornate meeting place. With Gorgar and Kragor. You see this place? This is the place of the Great Stampede when we vote for our new leaders. But while you're here, remember one thing. You're part of my tribe, part of my clan. Do not do anything to disgrace me here, but don't trust any of them. They're all here with their own agendas, their own plans. None of them are your friend, especially some of the quieter ones. Rukar Windcleaver and his master. May seem like he's a good friend, but yes, you can't trust him. He's swift and sneaky. Tholgar Bone Cruncher. At least he's not subtle. He's as subtle as the flails he uses, made of the skulls and bones of his enemies. Scar the Flamehorn, well, he's all show. And Borak Shieldwall is, well, he's a legend by his own. He's probably the best bodyguard in the Empire. Shame his master's such an ass. He's probably one of the bravest warriors our nation has ever seen. During wars against the Shadowfang, he held off whole legions of beasts in the mountains by himself. He held the choke points of the mountains, kept them from being overrun. He's the sort that everyone thought would be the next Khan, but he doesn't seek leadership. He's quite happy to be a bodyguard and serve. But that's how some people are. Not everyone seeks leadership, seeks fame. Some just like to end their day feeling like their duty's been done. And Borak is like that. His master's quite old now as well. The unyielding Drakkar. Long past his prime, but probably the most senior, smartest member of the council. Oh, and also be wary of Malgor, the Ash Eater. He's clearly mad. Let's try to think anyone else. That's most of them. They'll introduce themselves, tell of their glorious deeds, blah de da de blah. The usual pomp and stance. But you're my honoured guests. So let us head in. I will take my seat. Kragor, you show them to somewhere where they won't get in any trouble. He looks up. Of course, my lord. As Cragor leads you forward, you see 5 equally sized, very ornate tents, each with different emblems on. On your right, as you walk in, is the Ironhorn tribe. Then on the left is the Ashfang tribe. Next on the right is Stormmane. On the left, next on the left is the Blood Tusk tribe, and then at the top is the Thunderhoof tribe, which is your tribe. Thunderhoof tribe. Cragor explains this to you as you go. He points out the warriors from each tribe as you walk forward. The one on the right with the large shields, that's Borak Shield Wall. On the left there, well, you can tell Borak Shield Wall because he has 2 enormous kite shields. It's an extremely dangerous enemy. On the left there, Scar the Bloodhorn with his famous flaming swords. It's said that when he was younger, he was set on fire by a sorcerer, and he survived it somehow. Just somehow absorbed the fire. No one knows much about him. They lead you forward. The next one there, that's Rukar Windcleaver. His mouth is faster than his mind sometimes, but he's a sneaky bastard. Isn't that right, Rukar? Rukar looks over. Oh, it's you, Cragor. Who are you showing around there? Some pets? Oh no, these are new young bloods who joined our tribe. You invite children and outsiders to join your tribe? Are you going to make the next war so much easier for us? Cragor moves closer to him. Oh, any war with you would just be over in seconds. We know you. Too fast for his own good, that one. At last, Thalgar Bung Cruncher. He stands outside his master's tent, playing with his flails. Just adjusting them and correcting them, getting the balance right, and then he swings them just in a circle. Truly dangerous individual. But yes, you can come up here with our rest of our party. Cragor announces to the rest. Well, we're here, and it's time for the vote. Are your masters all ready? Each of the Bloodgore guards nods. Yes. Then, what say you? In the matter of who will be the next great Khan of the sons of Motoro, which of you votes? Gorgar steps forward. I, Gorgar, of Thunderhoof clan, vote for me. From out of the tent to your immediate side comes another man, his hands ripping with thunder and lightning, powers draining through him. Another Centauran with powers of lightning. I, Zarak Thunderhoof, also vote for Gorgar, Stormbreaker. Hmm? Hmm. No. No. I, Drakkar the Unyielding, vote for Gorgar the Stormbreaker. From out of his tent steps another Centauran, but this one wreathed in flames. His eyes wild with crazy power. I, Malgor the Ashita, also vote for Gorgar the Stormbreaker. Sounds a bit like Skeletor. You load of boobs! And then the last, Varrock the Flayer, steps forward. I, Varrock the Flayer, vote also for Gorgar the Stormbreaker. Gorgar looks around. Then the vote is unanimous. I accept your votes as the new Great Khan. And I nominate Gregor the Iron Hoof to replace me. What say you? Each of them just solemnly nods. Agreed. 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 He has been a worthy bodyguard, and he will be a worthy ruler of my tribe and in my stead when I take up my mantle. Is there anyone with a legitimate vote who would go against this unanimous decision? Right out of nowhere, there's a large blast of smoke, and from the out of the fire steps a Centauran. Yes, I speak. I am known as Naxar the Smoke Veil. Each of the I feel each of the other tribe's chiefs looks at him with disgust. You? You're Ashen, you're Shadowfang. You have no place here, traitor. At which point, Thulgar Bonecruncher moves slightly closer in front of his master. Yes, we should cleave off his head, crush his skull, and add his spine to my collection. Isn't that right, master? Turns to Varrock. Varrock nods. Yes, we should, as we should have done with all of his kin. Craggle whispers to you. Shadowfang worked for the Order of Blood. They were the token tribe. Kept us in line. Tried to sell us out when we were during the war. Led us into ambush after ambush until we eventually realised what they were up to. Since then, they've been exiles. The wastes, the mountains. Did you see the eruptions? That's where they live. Malgor the Ash Eater, his tribe stand between them and us. So that means the only person who would have known that they were coming is probably Malgor. This explains his fiery entrance. As he whispers to you. My master seeks renewal and re-entry amongst you, as he has found redemption in the eyes of Motoro, our illustrious father. He is Motoro's champion. Each of the other ones looks at you when you speak up. Cragor stops you. No, they'll have you killed. You can't speak. And that's probably their plan. Because you know him? Do you know this Nyxar, the Smoke Veil? From that point, another guy steps out of the fire. His skin ashen coloured. He announces himself. I am Vexar, the Ashen-Eyed. It's the guy you saw before. The black-skinned Centauran that you saw before, the one with the beady eyes and the things around his eyes, the dust and stuff around his eyes, who took the items. He's holding them. He has the relics of Motoro. I have the relics of Motoro. I am Motoro's champion. And at the very least, I should be allowed back on this council as Motoro has blessed me with his weapons and armor. I don't know why I would be cutting out at this point. You might need to do that thing with the chat and just hop out and hop back in. Yeah, and they're just doing a little bit of a victory lap, like we should be allowed back on the council because we have the items. Cragor looks at him. You know him? Vexar. Vexar would have taken them. And clearly Malgor's in on it. Well, the council's already voted the new Khan. He can't really contest it unless something's not right here. Varak and Malgor both look at Nyaxar and go, he is clearly the one who has the relics and is Motoro's champion. We should support him. Unfortunately, there isn't really anything I can do about that. If I am. And my friend, and if you accuse him if you accuse him here now, he would challenge you to personal combat. You would certainly lose. He has us, let me say, humbugged. But it looks like Varak and Malgor are in with him. Yes, we think he should be allowed back on the council. We support this, as he is Motoro's champion. Drakkar and Zarak both immediately go, no, they aren't allowed on this council. Clearly something's gone on here. The relics were being stored in Thunderhoof territory. How could he possibly have them? I doubt some Shadow Fang managed to make it into the tower safely, let alone get out without cursing their very name. No, we stand with Kragor, and we stand with Gorgar, our Khan. They should not be allowed on this council. And any who stand with them should be made exiles as well. Gorgar considers it. As Khan of the great tribes, I must think with a larger intelligence. Vexar of the Shadow Fang, you are welcome back on this council preliminarily. As for how you got those items and whether they are genuine or not is a matter to be discussed at a further meeting. Today was just to promote who would be the next Khan. If you seek to challenge that, then we will have to reassemble for that challenge. Do you agree to these terms? A recess? Yes. Do we have the council's votes on this? Yes. Each of them raises their hand. Then we adjourn till tomorrow. when we will decide upon the fate of traitors. The parties who agreed with the Shadowfang step away. And leave the camp. Cragor looks to you and says, and to Gorgar and says, "So you know what's going on? What is this? How do they have those items? The sword and Motoro? You said that they came to you?" Indeed. Actually, I'll try leaving the chat for a second and see if that helps. There we go. Maybe that will help. Oh, okay. Yeah, I just left the chat to see if that helped. Well, they clearly stole the items from you. Yeah. And you'd be their accusers. It's not a question of having proof. You have to have the strength to tell, to... Who told you that you were Motoro's champion? Then that's what you need to do. Go and bring the Guardian. If your wives stay here, take your wolves, get the Guardian and come back. Stay clear of the Shadowfang tribe, because they'll be watching us. Bring him here. If you can do that, we can end this dispute. No, I can stall out the thing here. Well, unfortunately, they just think you're Well, actually, no, they don't think you're outsiders. They know you had the items. So they will be watching you. Yeah. There's nothing much I can do about that because I can't be seen to interfere. Although the Thunderhoof tribe, under their new warhorn, could send escorts with you, or perhaps Cragor sort of goes, actually, my lord, I have an idea. We could be sending a peace envoy to your new encampment. Would that be acceptable to you? You're establishing that new town on the edge of the sea, Perhaps, as I said, a peace envoy. As Great Khan, I support this peace initiative with your Beastkin settlement, as you are fellow Beastkin, as we are. We wholly support it. So yes, head back to the Thunderhoof camp, gather up a small force, head back to your town, and then come back with as many of your own warriors as you possibly can to protect you on the way back, because they will throw everything they have at you. Till then, good luck, Kinryu the Pussy Smasher. Fly swiftly. I think your wives would want to go with you. And so, let's pull you all together one last time for this session. Okay. Was there anything else anyone wanted to do at the camp before we end it? Because next week we're going to be starting with the chase being on. You're going to be racing back, you and your wives, well, you and Kinryu's wives, on your wolves, fighting on the fly. Hmm? Hmm? Well, as I said, I'll explain some of there'll be a few little extra rules as we go along, because as I said, a lot of it will probably be on like a rolling road system. I don't know if you've ever played a game where you do that. No, as I said, next week I'll explain it, because basically how it works is treat it as you're on a treadmill. So the map is going to be constantly shifting left. So your tokens stay still. The map moves on like a treadmill. So anytime anytime you don't move, well, anytime you're stationary on the map, you are actually moving at full speed. If you do anything over your full speed, like sprinting or anything over, say, 30 feet a minute, well, 30 feet a turn, you will move ahead. If anything stops you or stuns you or decreases your movement, you'll drop back. That's what they mean by rolling road, because the map just keeps moving. You stay still unless you're manoeuvring around. But as I said, I can explain that again next week. Um, but it means if you've got any ability, because you're going to get another level up, if you get the ability to have any abilities that stun or slow the opponent, they will be very useful, because they will then immediately drop back, and if they're off the map, they're gone. So they will have lost you at that point. So just to let you know, that would be a very useful thing. And as you've now actually done the politics part of your mission from Purin, and secured peace so far with the Centauran people, that was actually the next level up requirement. So level up, because you joined the tribe, so that was one more level, and you did that, so you got 2 levels this week because you achieved what I wanted you to do as part of the story. You secured peace with the Centaurans, assuming that Gorgar stays Great Khan and doesn't get deposed by the Shadowfang and Vexar. Yeah, you are okay too. And as I said, we'll end that for today at the 3-hour mark. I'd like to thank our players. It's been fun. And we'll say goodnight for now. We'll be back tomorrow, probably 10-ish, maybe a little later. Don't know exactly. Probably 10-ish for Final Fantasy V. The last great hope for RPGs. Good night, everyone. No. Yeah, fuck you, Colpez. No, we'll discuss that in a minute because, oh yeah, this is going to blow your mind, Ollie. Trust